This is not whatsoever an advertisement for Court of Corvids. No, this is not that. We wanted to do a build video and we told you we were going to do them. So this is that is this build video. Weirdly enough, it just happens to also be a part of Court of Corvids.
It's a coincidence.
Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome to GameGorgon. My name's Indigo.
And I'm Croog.
And today we're going to be sitting here very, very quietly and peacefully listening to Croog talk the entire time.
And that's the end of Indigo's contribution to this video. My turn. Just kidding.
This is going to be Croog's build for Court of Corvids.
Yep.
There are a couple of things that we wanted to mention before we get like full on deep into it. One, this is super subject to change. There is a lot of stuff that could change it. The campaign can take a left turn. I mean, it could take any turn right now because they know nothing.
Yep. We know that we caused some problems.
Yes.
That's it. I don't even know what the problem is.
There's a bunch of additional books coming out between now and when they reach 20th level that they're going to have access to. So this is the base build.
This is what I feel now. And there's also like, I could learn stuff about the way things work and just be like, I'm gonna 180 off of this. There is a retrain mechanic in the game that I will make very liberal use of. Indigo was a nice enough GM to let me retrain after our second session, which was our first combat encounter, just for free across the board, just like rebuild the character because I realized some things.
The other kind of thing is these have very specific goals. This is not a mid-max build. This is not how to get the most amount of X out of this specific class.
Yes, this is very specifically, this is what Croog is going to find the most enjoyable to play. Outside of that, I have no other goals. I'm going to give you a list of goals, but those basically amount to what will Croog find fun to play.
Before we hand it off to Croog to continue to go through this entire thing, the last thing that we want to mention is this is our first build videos.
Yes.
So we would love some feedback to hear from you. If the format worked, if the pacing was wrong, what you did like and what you didn't like, so that we can make sure that we continuously improve these.
Yes,
because
please.
We're going to be planning on doing quite a few of these.
Yeah, so please make sure that you're interested and that this like meets your criteria. Can't guarantee that we're gonna make any changes that you suggest, but obviously if there's an overwhelming like, hey, this sucks, we're gonna change it. Also, this is not, and sometimes we're like, hey, this is like a call to get you to post comments. This is not that. We legit wanna make sure that this is good. If you don't wanna post a comment, send us an email, DM us on Twitter, whatever it is that you wanna do. Your feedback is the thing that we really want here.
100%.
But if you wanna leave a comment, that's cool too. Like, we're not gonna say don't leave a comment. All right, ready to hear me talk for a long time? My voice is gonna get sore and Indigo's gonna get bored. Here's the goals. One, this is not an optimized character. I'm not interested in being like the good at everything guy. There's tons of stuff that this character is not good at. There's tons of stuff that this character is not even as good at as they could be.
Sure.
And that's totally fine with me. There are some parts of it that are optimized, but that's neither here nor there. The second is that this is a frontline character. This is not a sit in the back character. This is not a run away from combat character. This character should be able to stay on the front lines.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to like dart in and dart out. That having been said, this character also needs to be fast, and that is exclusively because I enjoy being fast. I like it. And last but not least, the key to this character is going to be grapple. This isn't going to be like I need to take every single grapple feature that is available to me, but I would like to be a very competent grappler. I will end up with legendary athletics. I will end up with a bunch of grapple feats. Not all of them that I could possibly take, but there will be a lot of grapple. Level 1. This is the cornerstone of the character. We're going to pick the human ancestry. I want an extra level 1 class feat for the monk.
Which is very strong.
We're going to take versatile heritage for the human, which is going to give us an extra general feat, which we will use to take fleet. That's going to we're going to take that eventually anyways, may as well take it now. And the natural ambition is giving us a monk skill, which we're going to use to pick crane stance. As a human, we get 2 free boosts. We're going to use these to take strength and dex.
Makes sense.
Our languages are going to be common and goblin. Goblin, obviously, specifically so that I could be cool with William's character, who is a goblin.
Yes, and there is a little bit of story background of the two of you working together in the past, so it makes sense for you to want to spend and invest a little bit of time learning Goblin.
Yeah. My background is going to be warrior. Croog and William's character Remy have fought together before, and that is basically what this background represents, is Kroog's time in the military. That's not the only formative part of his history, but it is one of them, and so that is what this represents. The warrior is going to give us another boost to strength and another boost to dex.
I I wonder if there's a theme.
For our class, we're going to pick Barbarian. No, we're picking Monk. Our key ability is going to be Dex, even though we are a Grapple Monk. We could pick Strength. We could get early 18 Strength out of the way.
Sure.
But that's not what I want. I would prefer to have the extra AC and then deal with the Strength when we get our next set of abilities.
Okay, so postpone extra damage for...
extra damage, extra reliable Grapple.
So that you can live longer.
Exactly. My Monk class feat at level 1 is going to be Tiger Strength. Specifically picked this for the mobility. I can step further. And my 4 free boosts are going to be Strength, Dex, Con, and Int. Now that I know that my Int score is going to be a 12, giving me +1 modifier, I know I get 5 skills. Those 5 skills are Acrobatics, Athletics, Stealth, Thievery, and Nature.
Okay.
Level 2, we get a Monk feat and a Skill feat. The Monk feat, we're going with Crush and Grab. Obviously, just extra damage when I succeed a grapple, like, yeah.
Yes.
And then the skill feat, we're taking Titan Wrestler, because I don't want to take the penalties for larger creatures. Obviously, Crush and Grab just makes grapple that much more appealing of an option as alternative to attack, because not only do I get to apply that effect, but I get to deal damage alongside of it. At level 3, I'm going to take Adopted Ancestry because of Twitter. We'll go over that in a bit. And then I also get a skill increase, which I'm going to use to increase my athletics. At level 4, my Monk feat is going to be Rogue Dedication.
Nice.
Now, I was thinking about Barbarian Dedication.
Okay, and getting a Rage.
And getting a Rage. There are some Barbarian feats that are like, oh, super nifty for Grapple. After looking through what the Monk has to offer with Grapple and what the Barbarian has to offer with Grapple, I kind of like what the Monk has. And I don't really think that any of the Barbarian stuff is like horribly like mandatory for me. If I go with Rogue, I have another option for something that I cannot grapple, because that is not a situation I want to put myself into. Like, oh, this thing is very strong. Not like, oh, it's very big and you can't because I have Titan Wrestler, but something that just has me beat with strength. I don't want to just be stuck. Like, I need to have another trick up my sleeve.
Not only that, I mean, this is more beneficial for you if you have multiple enemies.
Right.
Because the thing is, Grapple is very good against the one big bad,
right,
but it's not good against an army of small creatures.
Yes.
And I know this because as you're reading through all of this, in my head, I'm just going, how do I go through
Oh, shit. We're going to get a skill feat because of the Rogue Dedication. This is going to give us steady balance. Actually, look at all the stuff you get with the Rogue Dedication.
It's a lot.
A skill feat, you get Surprise Attack, you get Light Armor, you get 2 skills. One of them is either Thievery or Stealth. If you're already trained in both of those, you get to pick one, and you get another one. So it's just like, oh my god, just so much stuff. Since I'm already trained in Thievery and Stealth, I took Deception and Medicine. Okay. Which are just like, oh, I kind of have some wisdom. Like, they're more like flavor than anything else. And then I also became trained in the Rogue class DC, but this character is never going to use it.
You also get trained in Light Armor, which I don't think you're
never going to use. We also get another skill feat just because of the level, and for that we're going to pick additional lore and pick farming lore because Croog used to live on a farm.
Yes. It's weird that he's getting it at 4th level, but yeah.
He's just been thinking about it. He's been mulling over his farming days in his head. It kind of makes sense because he was very young.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have been like, oh, I know exactly how to run a business. Like,
yeah.
He's 6. At level 5, we get our first set of ability boosts, which is nifty. I'm going to pick Strength, Dex, Con, and Charisma. We had a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think you're confused about why I'm making an odd Dex choice very early.
No, I'm confused of why you went Charisma.
Oh, Deception.
Okay.
Is Charisma. I'm going to end up Legendary in Deception for Feint exclusively.
This is me picking up what you have placed down.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to you explaining these aspects. What in Croog's life is going to happen from now until level 5 that Charisma and Feinting is going to be something that you've focused your energy on getting better at? I just assumed it was because you're hanging out with Moss so much.
Maybe it is a little bit because of... Actually, you know what?
Yeah,
it's a combination of the fighting and listening to Moss speak and just being like, dang, that was useful.
Well, and like Moss going out and just being like, look at this, I got you all of this cool stuff for talking. And you're like, really should get better at that.
Yeah. I bet you Moss will exclusively use it for talking and I will exclusively use it for fainting.
Oh, yeah.
And then there will be a situation where we have to switch and I'll realize, oh, I can talk and lie. And Moss will be like, oh, I can faint. Next, I get an Ancestry feat, Goblin Scuttle. It was a thread on Twitter where I was like, oh, look at this feat, it's really great. William told me that I had to get it. And then I kind of thought about it for a while and I was like, me and William are the two exclusive melee fighters.
Yes.
It would probably be really cool if when William got to where I was, because I'm going to be faster than William 100% of the game, I could reposition myself to flank better. Because this is going to evolve a little bit later. Because right now it's just, oh, you get a step.
Yeah.
But later I'm going to half my speed move if I want to.
Well, and I believe your speed goes up real high, so...
We also get a skill increase for which I'm taking stealth. This is like one of the most heavily subject to change parts of this build, is the fact that it's like stealth heavy.
All right.
I am only doing it now because I'm pretty sure that I will end up being the only character who can.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think anybody else is going to invest into it.
I mean, the Storm Druid could take on, you know, animal aspects and go wild and be able to, you know, get that stealth. But yeah, I'm with you.
And the sorcerer might be able to do like, oh, I'm gonna cast invisibility and like gain some like benefits that way. In a clutch like surprise situation, I'm gonna be the one who has to go off.
Well, and it also makes most sense for you because you're also going that sneak attack feint route.
Exactly.
It makes
and that's
sense
the other part of it. Like the mechanical benefit for combat is definitely there. At level 6, we're going to get a monk feat and a skill feat.
Okay.
I'm going to take Whirling Throw because this is like literally the memeiest thing ever. You just spin someone in a circle and throw them as far as you can. Like, how do you not? How do you not? And then for a skill feat, harkening back to when we were talking about stealth, Quiet Allies because fucking
because shush.
Level 7, general feat, skill increase, and path to perfection.
Okay.
We're going to take incredible initiative for our general feat. Even though I am already outpacing the entire party, I still want to go before them.
Okay.
Just as a player.
Yeah.
For skill increase, we're taking athletics because we can now. And then path to perfection, we're taking will, which is off type. Like, it's right now one of my lowest stats. That is literally the reason I am.
Makes sense, especially because if you can grapple and throw and sneak attack people, you don't want someone else to control you.
Right, because then I can control somebody else, at least positioning wise. Like if I grapple William, that would be a huge problem for the other two characters in the party.
Yeah.
Level 8, we get a monk feat and a skill feat. For the monk feat, I took mixed maneuver. This build needs it. It feels so nice. Skill feat, I took quick climb. Okay, I'm super fast.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be able to get away from me by climbing up a tree. Come back here. Level 9, ancestry feat, skill increase. Ancestry feat, skittering scuttle, because I am a goblin at heart. For the skill increase, more deception. Level 10, we're gonna get more ability boosts, strength, dex, con, and charisma. The stats are getting so big. For the monk feat, we're gonna take sleeper hold, which is hilarious because it is possible on a critical success to knock somebody unconscious for a minute. And that, as a part of a grapple feature, like you don't, it's not a spell slot, it's not on a, like whatever. You just go and just try and like knock people, and you can just potentially knock an entire group of enemies unconscious. If I want that to happen so bad, I don't want you to engineer it to happen. I would like to accomplish that goal.
Yeah, you're gonna have to accomplish it yourself.
And for my skill feat, I picked wall jump. Level 11, we get a general feat for which we are going to take toughness. It's gonna give us 11 health.
It gives you more over time, but
yeah. We also get a second path to perfection, which is going to be fortitude, because I'm okay with dex. I'm gonna end up with dex as my highest stat. And then for a skill increase, we're taking deception.
For feint,
Just a quick note, my speed here is 50 feet at this level. Bye. At level 12, with our class feat, we're going to dip back into Rogue and take Unbalancing Blow. This is due to basic trickery from the Rogue archetype, which is like, I think, a level 4 feat. I'm going back and getting it because at this point in my character, I feel like I have room to. I took the Rogue dedication super early because I really wanted the skill increases, because I really wanted the surprise attack feature. Now that I have the ability to go back and grab them, I am going back and grabbing them. And then for our skill feat, we're going to take Lengthy Diversion. Again, one of those things that was just like, oh, that's cool, and then I picked it. Level 13, we are going to get an Ancestry feat, which we are going to use to pick an Ancestry feature that gives us a general feat, which we're going to use to pick Die Hard. I'd just like to point out that there is a small loop here that you can do where you use an Ancestry feat to pick a general feat that allows you to pick an Ancestry feat.
It doesn't
but why
do anything.
Why? There's no reason to. I'm just saying it's fun.
Other than to say that you have an Ancestry feat that gives you a general feat, that gives you an Ancestry feat, that gives you a general feat, which gives you an Ancestry feat, which gives you a general feat, which gets you so on and so forth.
I can't stop doing this. Skill increase, we're taking stealth. Level 14, this is probably the most off-type thing I picked. Wild Winds Initiate. This is not only diverging in the sense that it is not stealth, it is not rogue, it is not grapple, it's nothing like anything that I've picked throughout the rest of the whole build. This is my first focus point. It's a stance where I can use a focus point to enter the stance, and while I'm in the stance, I can make ranged attacks.
Okay.
I literally took it so that I am not useless in ranged encounters. I took it at 14 because everything before this, I was like, that's super valuable. My party's probably got it.
Great.
We'll see. I plan to, if it comes to that. Oh shit. I'm going to ready an action to jump and grab them. That's literally what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be like flailing on the ground, and then eventually I'm going to be like, guys, look what I learned how to do. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, boo, boo. And then for our skill feat, we're going to take Swift Sneak. We're investing in stealth anyways. We may as well take it. Right?
Yeah.
At level 15, we get more boosts. We're going to do Strength, Dex, Con, and Charisma. These numbers feel huge to me. Huge. Coming from 5th edition. I feel so strong, but I know that it is a fantasy because I know the monster manual is scaling with me. I am terrified. I have yet to look at a single monster except for an ooze.
Because you needed to.
Because I needed to. For my general feat, I took Breath Control specifically to see if it is ever useful. I don't even know if we're going to get this high. We might wipe before we even get to level 4, but like, for my skill increase, I picked Athletics, and for my last path to perfection, we went Legendary for will saves. I remember one time we were talking about the difference between Legendary Reflex saves and Legendary will saves, and about how like, oh, the half damage thing isn't as valuable for will. Oh, it doesn't do damage as often. And then you explained like, oh, well, no, because the damage is still there, but it's just harder to resist, and it happens less often. And that's basically why I picked it, because you told me that, so thanks. I learned something from GameGorgon, and I'm on it. At level 16, we're finally gonna pick up Sneak Attacker. This is a little bit late, but it's not the main focus of the class.
Sure.
And it is still, I think, something that can add a bit of value, gives Feint an even greater purpose. Feint's going to be something that I'm using very frequently.
Sure.
So, Sneak Attacker.
I have a feeling you're going to get it sooner.
I probably will. And then we were going to take Cloud Jump for our skill feat. Basically jump wherever the fuck you want. It's great. Level 17, we take Clever Improviser for our Ancestry feat. I'm not sure how much Croog is going to be attempting things that are untrained. This might be replaced with the Human Aid tree. Oh, you get a +4 to aid in something that you're expert or above in. I don't remember exactly what it is. But that seems more Croogy. And I don't even know if I, as a player, would try an untrained check, just kind of like as a thought process from previous, like, systems.
I mean, at 17th, there's also probably not a ton that... Well, you're really focusing on the small skills that you do have, so...
Also, at level 17, we're going to increase our Deception, speaking of focusing on the small number of skills that I do have, to Master. Level 18, we get a Monk feat. We're going to use that to pick Diamond Fists, maybe. A good way to damage, like increase damage with just normal attacks. It has nothing to do with Grapple. There isn't really a good Grapple thing at this level. There is, however, a nice feature for, like, damaging weapons and, like, sundering, basically.
Sure.
I'm not sure... I guess it depends on, like, how you run that. I don't know how, like, into the item damage you're gonna get. And so I'm basically gonna wait and see if, when we encounter enemies with shields, if they break. And then if they do, and it happens a bunch, I'm probably gonna end up taking that instead. But if you're not playing with that, I'm gonna avoid it, and I'm gonna take Diamond Fists, because it is good. It's good damage. That weapon trait is, like, super strong, especially for a monk who attacks a bunch. For the skill feat, Slippery Secrets, I don't think I'm ever going to use it.
Kind of goes back to what we talked about. Well, actually, what we haven't talked about yet. Some of the skill feats and some of the feats just need a little bit more depth.
Yeah, it's more of like a, I'm going to take this just in case something very weird happens.
Sure.
But I didn't really have very many alternatives. Level 19, my general feat is going to be Canny Acumen, because it's never too late in the leveling process to gain perception. My perception's garbage. And my skill increase, Stealth. That's Legendary Stealth, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
Last but not least, level 20. It doesn't even matter what I pick at this level because I'm a monk, and at level 20, we basically don't take damage. So,
oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please don't try to prove me wrong. For my boosts, Intelligence, Wisdom, Dexterity, Charisma.
Slight differentiation from...
Slight little bitty differentiation from the other ones. Mainly because if I put just a random last bit of point into Intelligence versus something else, I get lore, just bumped a little tiny smidgen. Everything else would have ended up odd.
Okay.
I'm just like, I don't care. I don't want it to... Unless something happens in the time I realized, oh, having an odd is useful in this case. I can't think of what would be useful right now.
Yeah.
So for the monk feat, we're taking Impossible Technique. We've already talked about this in the monk video, that I was going to take this and we were going to have a conversation about it frequently. And so here it is, Impossible Technique. It's the roleplay for it's so good. And then for my skill feat, the last and final skill feat, because I received Legendary Stealth, I would be disappointed in myself if I didn't take the Legendary Stealth skill feat, which is Legendary Sneak.
There's a lot here. I feel like there is so much that I can use against you. I'm very happy we did this.
Did I mention that this was all subject to change?
Yeah, I honestly...
all of it is going to... I'm going to end up playing a sorcerer during session 3.
I'm very intrigued to see how this develops over time.
Yeah.
I have come up with ways to improve this.
How?
I think it's different because it's a Croog build. We can see how quickly it is to reach the goals in which we go and then end them there. Only go over the aspects that benefit that specific goal.
Got it. So you, like, if I was like, oh, I want to build a grapple monk, just
Yeah.
talk about all the cool grapple things you could do.
Yeah, and be like, this is the best way to go about getting that feat.
Maybe-
and only going over the specific levels.
Yeah.
Like going over the stuff that isn't like. Again, I think this is completely different because
This is like a character. This is not a goal.
You go, okay, you've got 3 goals to create this overall thing, right? So if you're trying to create Batman, well, what makes Batman? Here are the 3 things that we feel are most important about Batman.
Detective, rich, no parents.
A detective is an important part. At 1st, 5th, and 7th level, these are the things that you need to pick.
Oh, I get that.
Now to reach goal 2, now knowing that we have already picked those things to reach that specific goal.
Yeah.
Second goal is to be able to punch the crap out of people and not kill them, so non-lethal damage. At 2nd, 9th, whatever levels it is, is the best way to reach that.
And it's only the choices, it's not the class things, but we let you know what the class is. And then at the end, we'll just be like, if you want to look at the full character, go to the show notes.
Yeah.
And then we get ad revenue from our website too.
I think that that's a really good way to go.
I like that. I want to know what you guys think about that.
Yeah.
Please, if you want to, go down to the comments, or again, this is more about your feedback than it is about you leaving a comment. Don't really care about the comment part. Again, if you want to do it, okay, he cares about the, okay, all right, you're gonna want to, all right, okay, yep,
Not that much.
Let us know what you think of that idea. There was like multiple ideas in
Yeah.
there. That was very stream of consciousness. But just let us know what you think of any of those bits of things. Let me know what you thought of my character. Let me know why it sucks. Let me know why it's awesome. Let me know why I'm gonna love it or why I'm gonna hate it.
Where should they do that at?
Oh, in the comments.
And
In Twitter. Right?
Which is
that what you're trying to do?
yes.
That what you're trying to do? You can talk to me on Twitter at QueueTimes.
You can talk to me on Twitter at IndigoQT, or you can talk to Court of Corvids and get more Court of Corvids information on Twitter at Court of Corvids.
There was an ad, sorry.
Or you can talk to all of us on all of the following social medias.
Ooh, is one of them orange and Patreon colored?
One of them is Patreon, where you can donate money and help us go ahead and move forward. We are planning on doing a Court of Corvids behind the scene video. I'm working on that actually shortly.
Nice.
And you also, once a month, we're planning on putting your names in the credits. So
yeah.
Thank you for all of that.
I hope I had enough time and remembered simultaneously.
This was me reminding Croog.
To do that.
Future Croog, remember, we have to put people's names on the screen. Bye, everyone.
Whoosh.